Hi, everyone. This is Ms. Reber. I hope that you are all doing well, that you're all safe and healthy. I hope also that this update answers some of the many questions that I know you all have. Please write down any questions along the way, and as we go through the slides, hopefully some of them will be answered. And if you still have some questions, as I'm sure you will, you can forward those to me and email them, and we can hopefully address those in a future update. We are in a situation that we've never experienced before. When we left school on March 13th, I don't think any of us really grasped what this new reality was going to be. It's been unsettling and confusing, and we're all faced with a combination of not having enough information and at the same time being on information overload. Uncertainty is the prevailing emotion, and that's one of the most, difficult emotions to experience. And there's so much of it right now. I don't know when this will end. None of us do. But I do know that it's not a time for us to panic or to become defeated. We have to do our best to stay focused on what we can control and not get overwhelmed by all of the what ifs that could plague our mind. One thing that you can control is the practice of aggressive social distancing of at least 6 feet. The more people refuse to do this, the longer it will be before this is over. Do your part. A lot has changed this past 2 weeks, but there are many things that have not. The teachers and staff at Lewisburg High School are determined to help our students and families through these difficult times. You have not left our minds or hearts since we last saw you. We miss being in your presence. We miss your smiles, your questions, your inquisitive minds. We miss hearing you play music, being amazed at your art, and watching you play the sports you love. But most of all, we miss you, each and every one of you. Your individual personalities that make you who you are. You give us joy. We're sad for you about things that have already been canceled and worried about things that may not be able to happen, but we will get through this together. Although we aren't in our building, we are far from being alone. I have witnessed you deal with adversity. I have seen your strength, your perseverance, and your compassion. You have what it takes to tackle this, and we are here to help you every step of the way. The district is currently looking at things through 3 lenses right now. What's happening currently, what may happen in the short term, and what might happen long term, and we're trying to plan accordingly. It's constantly being monitored at the state and the local level. Currently, all Pennsylvania schools are closed through April 6th. Lewisburg has already extended that until April 14th. It's likely that that could change, which gives us our second area of planning that needs to be looked at, and that's the possibility of a longer closure, where maybe we can still return this year. And finally, we have to look at a plan that would include us not being able to come back this current year. It's an option nobody wants, but we have to at least consider it. The end date right now that all schools must finish is June 30th. That's set by PDE. Now, that doesn't mean that schools will be finishing on June 30th. Schools will be determining their final dates as further information about the length of time that schools will be closed is given. So none of that has been decided yet, and that's something that's being monitored and discussed. So during the past 2 weeks, we have been working to address our needs, and we've been trying to do this in priority order. The first of which was the safety and well-being of our students. Our counselors and social workers have been making connections with students. The first meal deliveries and distributions have been going really well, and I can't say enough about the hard work of our cafeteria staff and making sure our students are being fed. We've also been going through and looking at who isn't being reached through the district communications. We know there are people out there who don't have internet access, and we are working to determine the best way of reaching and supporting them. And the same holds true for our families whose primary language isn't English. Next, the needs of our senior class are a focus. Things such as scholarships and college applications are additional stressors for them with deadlines. Their situation is particularly unique and time sensitive. Throughout this, there has been constant planning taking place. We are working within parameters set by the state and federal government. Information from both changes daily. Think of it as trying to put together a puzzle, but the pieces of it keep changing. Our staff is in frequent email communications with each other and are having virtual meetings as they prepare lessons. Having been a teacher or principal at 3 out of 4 of our district schools, I can say that being a teacher or principal at one school is not easier than another. Each is vastly different with their own unique complexities. For our high school teachers, they're each trying to determine how to best reach over 100 students that they teach in their classes. And of course, there's instruction itself. And a lot of confusion and questions surround this. Why we didn't start sooner, why we aren't doing things differently. And those are all valid questions, and hopefully we'll be able to address those in frequent updates. But to boil it down, we have to ensure that we're making a good faith effort to reach all of our students. Starting Monday, March 30th, new material will be provided according to our standards and curriculum. Keep in mind that each family has its own unique needs. Some high school students are working more hours. Some are watching younger siblings. A one-size-fits-all approach isn't going to work, and we've had to plan our instruction accordingly. As I've mentioned, this has been particularly difficult for our seniors. So we're going to try to answer some information that I know that you've been having. The Lewisburg Common application for scholarships. The due date for that is now April 15th. If we're back in school, you may turn it into guidance. If the closure is extended, you can mail it to the high school. I put the address there on the screen. Or you can submit it electronically, and we're going to have directions on that soon. For the outside scholarships, you should follow the due dates that were given in each individual application, and you should mail it to the address given. I also know that a lot of you are worried about senior service and graduation projects. Please don't stress. We understand and we'll work with you. For graduation projects, hopefully, if you are still working on yours and your presentation was to take place here in the spring and these next couple of weeks, then what we'll do is we'll figure out a way to do it remotely if we're not able to do it on site. Graduation, I know, is something that's on a lot of students' minds. And all I can say there is we will do something. We will recognize you. We will honor you. We know how much work you have put in for the past 13 years. Our current date is May 30th, as you know. We are constantly monitoring and thinking of backup plans and ways that we can accomplish it according to a lot of different scenarios. Mr. Wetzel and I have really spent a lot of time on this. We know this is important, and we, as I said, will make sure that we do something to honor your graduation. I am hopeful that we will be able to have it on the current date, but if not, know that we will adapt and we will honor you. Some other frequently asked questions. Third marking period, that's been a real area of questions for people. We are still in the third marking period. If you're able, complete activities to the best of your ability and with what you have available. I know some of you had test corrections back at school. You may not have a textbook or something with you. Do what you can with what you have. If we come back on the 14th, the marking period will be extended by at least 1 week so that you're able to get caught up. If there's an extended closure, we'll be adjusting the third and fourth marking period accordingly. Grades. If back on the 14th, we'll do regular grading, again, with that extension of the third marking period. If the closure is extended, then there won't be grading, but there will be feedback from your instructors. And we are checking on a pass-fail option. There are some parameters we have to work around with the state. So we have to make sure that we do it the right way so that we don't have to go back and then change that later. Class rank has also been something that some people have asked about. That is going to have to depend on information that's dependent on the length of our closure. And know, though, that we do have that and have been talking about different solutions and things for that. That one right now is not a priority. It certainly is important, but as I said, we're right now trying to get the instruction up and rolling. So that'll kind of be in our next wave as we get more information about lengths of closures. Assessments, you probably know that the Keystones have already been canceled for this year. Now, some questions are coming up as, will the state require students who should have taken them this year to take them next year? We don't have any information about that. What we have right now is that the Keystone classes are canceled, or the Keystone rather tests are canceled for this year. The NOCTI exam, which is an examination that our son students take, that has also been canceled, but I think they are working on possible online opportunities. AP, there's information from guidance and also on the College Board website about online testing that they're doing. SAT and ACT testing, those have been canceled through May, and we continue to monitor that, and we'll let you know as we learn more information of what they plan to do. Scheduling is another area where there have been some questions. The course catalog is online, so you can see the link there for it. It's also on the first page for the high school. If you go to the website and then go to the high school page, it's there. Now, all of our due dates obviously are being adjusted, and we're going to be opening up the PowerSchool portal for all requests, including this year's 8th graders who will be our incoming 9th graders. We will have more information on that next week, but don't worry about any due dates or anything right now. The schedules themselves, while we're taking the requests and we're going to be working with you this year in terms of what the best matches for courses are, we are not going to be able to have schedules in your hands the last couple of days of the school year like we've had in the past. The schedule will be completed over the summer. What's important to me is that it is accurate and it's the best schedule, and that you aren't feeling rushed to choose classes because of a deadline and because of the end of the year. Accuracy and you taking the right classes is much more important to me than having it done before the end of the year. And of course, we'll have to change our drop and add procedures and deadlines, and those will be adjusted accordingly. Technology issues. I am sure there are going to be a lot of tech issues. Just first of all, a lot of them can be solved by restarting your computer. You should always restart your computer to start, at the start of the day. If there are updates that are pushed out or you've gotten disconnected from the filtering, there's a whole bunch of variety of things that can be solved just by restarting your computer. We did create a Lewisburg help desk. You can see the address there. It's also on the web page. So if you do run into technology problems, either a problem with your computer, a problem with a particular site, you can go online. It will take you to a Google form where you can give information about it. And then the technology team in the district will be streamlining those requests and taking care of them and getting you back online as quickly as possible. Some important sites that you will need to know. There is an information / direction sheet, which I will be getting posted online also. So first is Google Classroom. Many of your teachers use that. You should already have that, but if not, there is the address for it, and the direction sheet will have reminders about how to log in. The Moodle sheet, our district website, and also student email. I know some of you aren't a big fan of student email. Some of you may not have ever been on our student email site. I will tell you that you are going to be using student email. So one of the most important things you can do is make sure you get on there and that you check to make sure that you can receive and send messages. So let's look at this week and going forward. Okay, first of all, I said earlier that each of you are in unique positions of what you can and can't get accomplished during this time, depending on what other responsibilities you may have. However, Monday, March 30th, our teachers and counselors will be active with their resources and instruction. A lot of you have been already using Google Classroom or Moodle for different classes. There were some codes posted for new classes and also for each of your advisories. If you go to the link that's shown below, and again, this is also on the main website, the main Lewisburg website, that link will take you to all of the teachers and what type of platform they're using. And then if it's a new course or a new advisory, the code is there for you also. Now, some of those have been emailed out, but this way you all know what course, and also your parents know what platform each course requires. Teachers will be available weekdays for office hours between 10 and 12. Learning support counselors and social workers from 11 to 1. And every Wednesday from 9:30 to 10, we'll be having our advisory. Now, these aren't the only times staff will be available. They'll communicate other times and other opportunities with you. Please understand that in addition to you having your own unique circumstances, teachers also have students at home. They have their own children that they are, having to care for. They aren't going to be able to answer 24/7. That's just not realistic. Please give 24 to 48 hours for them to answer emails, just because of the high volume of communications. Again, count on your teachers being on from that 10 to 12 time. If you ask a question or if you're on your course platform, that's a set time. If for some reason your teacher's not available, they'll be letting you know. So what are our expectations for students week 1? So first of all, you can start preparing now. You can make sure that you can access your school email. You can log into your teacher's learning platforms for each class so you're ready. And you can create a schedule for yourself, a planned routine. That's one of the most difficult things, I think, of not being in school. Some people thrive on unstructured time, and other people really can't be as productive without it. Create a schedule that works for you. Make sure you take and put time in there for physical activity, for things that you enjoy doing, but also have a set time that you're going to work on things during the day that works for your family and your schedule. The second thing you should do this week is complete the activities. Engage and complete them as your teachers are creating, and they'll each have a way that they want you to turn that in, and that will be communicated to you. The third thing you guys need to do, we need to communicate. Seek clarification, ask questions. If there's something going on or something that you need or a reason you can't get on your courses and do something, make sure you reach out to them and tell them why. Like I said, we know this is a trying time for everyone, and we're trying to be as flexible as we can. And please be patient. Your teachers are trying their absolute best. This is new for them. It's impossible for them to be available 24/7. But please know how much time and how much work they are putting into this and how much they miss all of you. And they are committed to making sure that they serve you to the best of their abilities. In addition to academics, I think it's also important to stress those guidance and mental health supports. You'll see here a variety of links that are available to you both within our own district and also community resources and the crisis text line. You can see we put that number there. Please make sure you check those things out. This actually will be sent out as a PDF also, so that you'll be able to see all of the information and all of the links that way. But again, it's important that you have that mental health support too, not just the academic supports. Please reach out to us. We'll answer all of your questions the best that we can. The school voicemail that is being checked. I've been trying to check that each day and write down everything that's being asked and then make calls back. Please leave your number and your name at the beginning and the end of your voicemail. That helps tremendously. You wouldn't believe how many people actually forget to tell me who they are or where to reach them. So if you could, again, just put that at the beginning and end, and I ask that you please be patient. Again, email also, I will try, to keep up on answering those emails as quickly as possible. In addition, there are a lot of resources on the school website that you can access as well. This is a difficult and challenging time for all of us. Um, It is very unique. It is something that is unprecedented. It's something that we are all trying to deal with together while at the same time staying apart. You are not alone during this. Remember that. And most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy, and remember that we love you.